Hello. Welcome to Keyani's first ever podcast. We have just recently launched our new platform and have started podcasting. And we wanted to actually start by introducing you to a lot of our practitioners that are in our center and show you what they do, how they practice their modalities, get to know them a little bit better and and see whether you would like to come and try some of their sessions. If you're interested in any particular topic, we would love to hear from you. Do give us your comments. Do give us your feedback about what you would like to see in the future. But as I said, this is our first ever, so be patient. Stay with us, subscribe, and do support us in everything that you can do. We will be available on Spotify and YouTube, and hopefully in Apple Podcasts. So keep an ear out for that and follow us. Today we're going to be talking about the Wim Hof method, and that is a very, very big subject. We're going to try to narrow it down maybe into a smaller and easier to understand method. Um, the Wim Hof started with the Iceman. I'm sure you've all probably heard of him, or please go do check him out on social media. He's a Dutch motivational speaker and an extreme athlete, known for his ability to endure low temperatures, which he has pioneered, and he has made it into the Wim Hof method. And the practice is known to help with increased energy, better sleep, reduced stress, heightened focus and determination, increased willpower, and a much stronger immune system. There are three pillars to this, which include control over breathing, exposure to the cold, and commitment to practice it until you've mastered it. And today we've got none other than Bechara El Khoury, who is joining us, who we know very well and is very close to us at Keyani. And of course, he is one of the first pioneering instructors in this region, and he has been practicing the Wim Hof method uh, extensively. Along with that, he is also a certified level 3 Wim Hof instructor, which is very hard to achieve, but we're very proud of you for being that because you offer a beautiful experience here with us. Bashar is also a professional filmmaker, musician, survival instructor, and the first instructor in the MENA region to combine breathwork and music in his wonderfully guided workshops that introduce newbies to the Wim Hof method. Thank you for joining us,
Well,
Shara.
thank you for this awesome introduction. You did introduce the method perfectly. Thank you also for this podcast to share more about the method and what I'm sharing, especially at Kayani, because this is like it's a big family for me, and I'm really proud and honored to always facilitate sessions and workshop at Kayani. So thank you for
Thank you,
this
thank you.
opportunity.
I wanted to start first with trying to introduce the Wim Hof to people who are not familiar with the concept of the Wim Hof method. And could you give them a brief outline as to, what it is and why has it like sort of blown the world completely?
Um, you did a really nice introduction for the method, the basic benefits, and what's the method about. It's like the three pillars: the conscious breathwork techniques, the cold exposure training, and the mindset commitment. This is the simple way of explaining the method. Yet it has a lot more as an impact on you as a person. So I would say it's a tool and also a philosophy for life, because the more you dive deeper in those practices, you will also discover a lot of your natural powers. The method and Wim Hof is taking you back to your roots, to Mother Nature, and using those old techniques or the modern way of practicing it. It will give you a lot more also as part of benefits. But it's not only for the benefits itself. It's also a reconnection and a kind of rebirth for you to reconnect with your inner self, and especially in a natural way, and with
and how
nature.
we were physically meant
So
to be, right? How we were supposed to breathe in the most natural of ways rather than, stress induced breathing or, rush of life breathing kind of situation.
exactly, especially nowadays, I would say nowadays, my humble opinion, maybe the last century, humanity is changing a lot with all the tools that we're inventing, which is definitely brilliant to have a technology with us and help us. But sometimes it is narrowing our
Absolutely.
power to just endure normal life in nature. We're always guests in nature, even if we build glass and buildings and rooms.
Yeah,
We're always still in nature, and we need always to connect with nature. So, temperature and nature connection and the way how we breathe aff- was affected a lot by the
absolutely.
modern world. So we are going
Yeah,
far from
yeah,
our roots, which is something dangerous. Why? Because we're having a lot of new things, new sickness, um, new stuff. Like depression was not there before. Let's say
yeah,
mental struggles, even new bacteria,
yeah,
because we are narrowing down our immune
yeah,
system.
yeah.
As simple
So,
as that.
but I mean, going a
So
little bit deeper into this, what was your journey? I mean, how did you discover the Wim Hof? Give us a little bit idea of your background and how you got into it, and has it transformed your life? I mean, I know that you're very passionate about it and you really love, because when you talk to me about this, it's always with so much passion, with so much dedication. But it'd be nice for our listeners to actually get an idea of a little bit of your background as to how you came about, discovering the Wim Hof and what other things that you've incorporated in your life to be able to practice this.
okay. So as you mentioned, I'm a musician and a filmmaker, but I've been always in love with nature. I'm from Lebanon. I grew up there. I had the chance to also connect with nature in the mountains, and that's my teenage time. I was like the monkey outside. So I stayed like that. I started to do extreme sports, hiking, camping, endurance sports for a long time, camping in storms. But I used to hate the cold. But slowly I started to practice more sports, more mindfulness. Um, and at some point in my journey, I saw Wim Hof. Maybe it was 12 years ago. I don't know. Um, doing one of his records, and it was in Lapland, Finland, in
Wow.
minus 20 degrees. The guy
Wow.
was running in sandals in the snow with only shorts, and I was watching this documentary, and I was like, okay, I like this guy. I really connect with him. I felt the power, the energy, not just seeing him running in film, what he was talking about. He was saying, like, I'm not special. I will do this just to prove one, two, three, four, five. And then after a few years, I simply stumbled that Wim Hof has a method when he's teaching people. And I saw that they have a program in Poland in the middle of winter, in December, and they will teach us for a full week the method, and we will be able to climb a mountain only with shorts, topless, and with hiking shoes. And that was the last sentence in the booking link. And I just booked it. Nothing, didn't think about it. One way ticket. So and it opened up a huge, beautiful new
And when was this? What year was this?
2016. That's where I started my real journey. I went to Poland. It was the first batch of instructors with Wim helping him. And we were like 30, 40 participants from all over the world, 18 years old, all the way to 70 years old. People extremely fit and people, I will not say extreme, they had some difficulties, some health difficulties. A guy with Lyme disease, he came on a wheelchair. Another person had cancer. Another person had all sorts of things. And what I realized in this week, that I've been I've been losing a lot of things that can make me a better version of myself by simply using simple techniques, but that's just the base for the method. The experience was way more deep for me. So definitely your body will feel super high, call it up,
It boosts your immune
boost
system,
your
right?
immune
So
system and your
you're
mood.
yeah, yes, yeah,
So
which is so crucial.
exactly, and then in the full week, all the people
Yeah,
around us, we
it's
barely met, we
amazing.
don't know each other. We felt like we're brothers and sisters, really, no filters, no, and the power of the group, the tribal power, is something that we also missed as people. That was very, very impressive for me. The connection I've built with Wim Hof himself. I also play music. I play music with him and the group. People that they had life experiences that I can learn from, and they are shedding their maybe long journeys with suffering in only few days, and loving each other all together. For me it was like, okay, this is too much. It's not just a tool that I will put in my toolbox as an extreme athlete, as a little bit monkey nature guy, or all these things. It was way bigger than that. The impact was for me word peace in one group, in one technique, and how to discover yourself and to reconnect with nature, your home. This is too much. This is a
But
lot.
how did you, so for example, like how did you like decide that you wanted to become an instructor? Because, I mean, this is an experience which we all go for experiences, right? We go on retreats, we go on things, but then people just come back from a retreat and say, that was fantastic. And, I'm going to do it again. But you went straight into wanting to become an instructor.
Yes, I had the vision. Honestly, I had the vision. In my fourth day, we were doing the practice at Wim's house. He has a small hut in Poland, a wooden attic, and we had a really intense breathwork session. And I got honestly like out of body experience. And I knew back then that this is something I need to share with the world, whatever it takes. This is something that every single one of us needs. It's not about the cold and going topless in the snow, or I was having hard times sometimes with the cold when I was training, but there was a lot more there that attracted me, and honestly, the mission.
And you were pushing your boundaries. You were
Yes,
pushing your boundaries to
and
change.
always I have a mission since I'm a kid. I want to share. I want to help. I want also to try to shine the light as much as I can with whatever I can do. And I've been doing this for a while in social work and my background, but I found it in the method as a very beautiful package that can also help.
And how long did it take for you to get to level
Oh,
3? I mean, like there because it's very difficult to get to level 3. I mean,
um, we, honestly, in the academy and in the Wim Hof, we don't like to put levels. And also, it's not something like, yeah, you are better than him or she's better than you. They
of
really,
course, of
really,
course.
they put emphasis on that. Yet, also with experience,
They have to quantify it though. You have to
yeah,
quantify it. I know that people don't like to put levels and things, but on
yeah,
experience, you have to quantify an experience so that people understand where you're
yeah.
coming from.
So usually, once you get certified, you're like level one, and you are able to do workshops only. You cannot do other stuff, expedition, da da da. Then you do the training, and then you will be able to become level two. Then more stuff will open up with you, with also the experience that you already had for the level one. Then this is already more than enough. Yet, the academy, they handpick sometimes level three instructors. For them, it's the people that they really put more energy. They put a lot for the method to expand it all over the world. They see in their profile how much the reviews are, how much their experience are on a personal level once they meet us. Then, at some point they will invite us to be like level three instructors, that more as an ambassador for the brand. So what is a little bit more very specific is the level three instructor on instructors. So that's also I recently
Yeah.
became, and I'm very honored and proud where I'll be able to also share my experience
Congratulations.
to teach the future instructors. And that's the beauty
Yes.
of this method, because you have Wim's 40 plus years of experience, which is epic, and you have more than 10 years of the academy of us instructors working with Wim and together to make this method even more and more. And we're open for always changing and adding, and that's a beautiful thing.
That's why it's blowing up. I mean, people are just going a bit, they're loving the experience that they're getting. They're getting instant, not a hit. I don't like to call it a hit, but they're getting an instant reaction to whatever they do within that process. So yeah, I mean, it's making a lot of it's making the spike after post what we've been through
Mm,
for the few years in the last couple of years, that the spike that's gone up for people who are interested in ice bathing and breath work and things like that has really gone up. Um, so I guess maybe you attribute, what do you attribute the reason for this popularity? Is it because people have reached a point where they're like saying, oh my God, I need to help myself uh, to get better, and like we were talking about, it's boosting the immune system, boosting the happy hormones and the happy
endorphins.
feelings and the vibes. What do you think?
Yes, it's very interesting, the part of post-COVID. Yet, the journey of Wim Hof, then Wim Hof Method, was for a long time. The guy really, with like he had a lot of people and organizations like fighting him in a way, or treating him as if he's a joke or a clown or someone who's doing a magic show for the people. And it lasted for 2 decades maybe. The guy was really, he believed in every single step he was doing. He knows, he has the feeling, he knows, he's determined that whatever he's doing is helping. It helped some people, and it will help a lot of other people, not only because he did stunts. To be honest, there are multiple factors. First is Wim Hof himself. Whatever he did as records, call it stunts, call it whatever you want, is something you really need to take it into consideration. 26 Guinness World Record, some stuff no one even managed to break it. And it's not about records, it's about, hey, look, we are humans. Look how much we can do. Then media started to be interested with Wim. They took him serious a little bit. Then the science, especially around 2013, when they did the first really amazing experiment that honestly changed in science, this package started to grow. Wim's appearance, the method with the people. He started with the instructors. The academy was launched, and then the science started to do more and more and more. So this big package, hey, they put the method somewhere with good base, with good pillars. Yet the COVID hit, and we all know the COVID was a nasty virus, and it was attacking the immune system and the respiratory system, which is something that in the Wim Hof method is is something that we train all the time to make it better. So yes, of course, after the COVID, not only with the method, with a lot of other healing modalities, people went crazy. People were stuck in quarantine, and they were not able to leave. Even the mental health was at stake. So I think all modalities were interested for some people, but once you talk about immune system, boosting your immune system, better
I
breathing,
think that's what
oh,
people
all
were like
right,
catching on.
wow,
Yeah.
this is what I
Yeah.
need. I was facilitating workshops during COVID. I did some experiments with that. It works, it helps, but definitely we cannot say, yeah, it can
Yeah.
heal you from this and that.
Yeah.
And it,
Yeah, I think it just came out to the forefront, and it like I think people were just looking for things to do to help themselves build their immunity. I think that
Sure.
was, that's a key part. But I mean, moving a little bit from that to things like, now you know that, a lot of people are doing ice baths in like sort of just ice baths on their own with a little bit of breath work. They're doing them independently. They're doing them either in little spaces where they can accommodate ice baths, etc. um I just want to know, like, what should people know about getting into this? Because I uh is it specific to conditions? Like, if somebody has a certain condition, is it not good for them? As opposed to doing the Wim Hof, which is, you take them through a process of breath work, and then it's like a 4 hour thing, right? Your
Mm,
workshop is
as a
about four
workshop.
hours, and you get them to eat some food in the meantime, and you get them to sort of layer. You're almost layering the preparation of getting into the ice bath, while a lot of other places, they are they're offering these ice bath experiences. But is there something that people should know about, that they should be careful of, or what do they need to get out of the session in order for them to feel that they've actually got something? It's not like a one hit instant. It's more about continuing this as a lifestyle, because I'm sure in the Wim Hof, you've got quite a lot of people that keep coming back to you over and over again because they want to keep that continuity of the ice bath.
Yeah. It's a very interesting question. To be honest, of course, it got crazy the last 4 years, 3 years. I never saw any tubs 7 years ago. I started with the garbage bin. Now you have all sorts of crazy technologies. Cold exposure training has been forever with the humanity. Breath work as well, conscious breath work. We have a transcript 4,500 years ago telling you how to breathe and exercise. Yet, we're evolving, and the cold exposure training or the cold exposure approach was and nowadays changing still for for particular or not for
Mm.
everyone. I would say in the East or Scandinavian countries, of course, it's
Yes, they
part
go
of their
straight into the
life.
sea.
They
They go
some people
straight into the
yeah,
sea, right? So
of
they,
course,
yeah.
yes. So it's part of your traditions and part of your social build-up. But that's not the case all over the world. So um, the difference, I would try to mention it in a way that is
Yes,
also
everybody is practicing according to what they know
soft to
best,
hear.
right?
Okay.
And everybody is, we have the
Yes.
freedom to practice. That's the whole thing, is for everyone to try it and taste it.
Yes. Cold exposure will give you a lot of benefits. So the answer, as long as you are able to do that, amazing. Please do it. You have a lot nowadays to see and to read, to have some safety aspect, to start gradual in your shower. Da, da, dee, da, da, dee. But when we talk about ice bath, so ice bath is an artificial way of simulating cold in nature, which is going down to 3 4 degrees. This is very cold. Okay, this is extreme cold, and it has an amazing positive impact on your body. Yet, if you're not ready or you don't have the right mindset or preparation for that, your body's response will multiply and it will might affect you in the wrong way. If you're normal and you're healthy, it might affect you in the wrong way if you did it without the proper preparation. Yet, there are some situations that you're most probably you're not supposed to do cold exposure. If you had serious cardiovascular issues, recent surgeries, if you're someone with epilepsy, if you're pregnant, and with a little bit more other cases, but it's manageable. So in our approach to the cold, it is not just about the cold plunge in Sweden or doing it in Canada or after a rugby match. No, it's a metaphor for life, metaphor for the most hard thing that you can ever imagine. For some people, it's the cold.
Yeah,
And if you were able to conquer this,
absolutely.
nothing will stand in your way. So, with the help of the tools that Wim built for 40 years and the academy for more than 13 years. I am pretty sure nowadays in the modern life, we don't have any source or any academy, organization, individual, books, or whatever
Yes.
that have that extent of experience
Mm.
of people having cancer, blind,
Yes.
they're gonna die in 2 months, all the way to fit people. All of them manage
Yeah.
to reclaim life in a
And
very
you have a
safe
global
way.
community, right? So you
So
have a
that's
global
the Wim Hof
community
method.
which
It's a lot
you're
more
all
than
the
just
instructors are connected to. So you know cases
yes,
of that what are happening in the world, and you get to hear about experiences. Maybe that's happening in North America, something in Europe, maybe in Australia. So that combines you because that's a very strong link for you to even do case studies on people and say, oh well, I've come across with someone
sure.
who had a very very high nervous disposition and this is how it helped them or etc. You know what I mean? So I think yeah, I think it's very clear, and I do understand that, and I think you're right. Everyone has to be very cautious about their health issues before they get in, and they need a more structured approach, which Wim Hof has been doing for years and years.
Exactly, and the experience that we always grow as instructors, as you mentioned, from case studies, because we have a lot of cases where people react differently to the method. So we need to know how to deal with it. That's how why we train. We stay for a year doing stuff. Um, Yet it is maybe a lot very simple for some people to just go do the cold plunge and they don't need anything from this. And this is amazing. But we have a lot of people that they
I
can.
mean, I would like
This is
never right now. I mean, if you asked me to get into a an ice bath, I'd be like, no, thank you, because I love my hot baths and my hot showers and stuff. So I think,
same
I have
here.
to change my own mindset in order. I have to progressionally work towards it. Like you said, cold showers, getting into colder water, getting used to more things that are, that you can dabble in before you actually start getting into things like extreme. It's a lot.
Sure. And you learn how to like it. We never push anything in the method. We have a lot of ways to give this workshop with the science
Yeah.
behind it. Oh God, there are a lot of
Yes.
information. Even if whims, the best thing for women is like feeling is understanding. I don't care if you know about pH level, all this
Yeah.
humidity. What you feel right now? Feel
Exactly.
good?
Yeah.
That's what I
Amazing.
want. So keep doing it.
Yeah.
That's it. The most organic, natural way, all the way to studies and experiments and science that can last 2 weeks of explanation. And also the way how to
Yeah.
bond in a group, how to experience nature, how to also learn how to breathe properly, not just only doing the method, all the way, sorry, all the way to break this fear from the
Yeah.
cold that we built as humans, even though our ancestors worked their ass off to have all this immunity and all this power for humans to adapt in the most crucial and very hard environments. We're still alive till here. The DNA is registered. So you have it in your body, but socially, traditionally, things
Mm.
got different.
Which
So
which leads
you,
me to the next question.
yeah,
I'm gonna break you because it's because the next question is a big question as well. Leads me to the fact that we want to go towards the sort of wellness retreats, which you've been doing a lot with Wim Hof, and you've been doing it with other things as well. The hiking here in the UAE, you've done a lot of stuff here in the UAE, and you've done quite a few with Wim Hof and his daughter as well,
yep.
Laura Hoff. And what is your experience with those kind of things? Because the reason I linked it is because you were just talking about us connecting with nature, right? You were talking
Yeah.
about, us connecting with nature. So, and what were the most memorable interactions that you've had with that has stuck to you? I know you're going to name like 100, but like maybe let's say your top three that you would find that are the most memorable, whether it's with a group or whether it's individual, whether it's with Wim Hof himself.
Oof, I got goosebumps. I honestly have and still have an amazing um, connection with Wim. Um, to be really honest, He fills the gaps of the father figure in my from my side, a best friend figure, the adventurous little bit monkey friend, all in the same time, and a little bit of the young cousin. He merges all, like the kid and the father figure and the friend. I connect deeply with him, especially with music. Uh, Playing music with Wim while we do breath work is something for me beyond any other experience that I do.
And you do that in the retreats,
Yeah,
don't you?
yeah, yeah. I love to share my love of music. So I sometimes play guitar, flute with Wim or alone. So that's about Wim, honestly, and he touched me deeply in my soul as a human being. Not only the method, but what touched me is the experience of the people. 70 years old Beatrice with arthritis and problems with her knees, doing the Poland experience and hiking with few layers,
Wow.
and we got a blizzard 35 kilometers per hour on the peak of the hike, and Beatrice didn't stop. She reached the top 1700 meters, minus 20 degrees with the blizzard.
Amazing.
And
Amazing.
Joren, who had Lyme disease, and he came to one of the expeditions on a wheelchair because his energy levels are like, and he wanted to burn this wheelchair the sixth day because he was full of energy and power. Phil, the instructor who had cancer, and he managed to cure cancer in 2 months. Now he just give free workshops in the UK for all cancer patients, and he's always walking barefoot anywhere he goes,
Wow.
etc.
Yeah. Yeah, that's I mean that's beautiful. Then that's only comes with you doing these international retreats because these people come from all over the world, and they come from all their stories, their lives, and that's how you experience meeting these amazing people.
Yeah, and also the impact on myself.
Yeah,
The power that I get, the balance that I seek, and the energy and the mood, the mental struggles I used to have long time, and it
yeah.
is
Are you doing any more retreats?
yes. So
You are
so we usually when I take part in the Wim Hof Method Academy, we usually do two. They usually do organize in Spain
okay,
1 week retreats. Usually it's in autumn, summer. They call it summer expeditions with
okay,
Wim. And then the winter expeditions are
okay.
in Poland, the Mecca of Wim Hof. So
Wow. Yeah, I've heard about your Polish
yes, so that's the
experiences.
two destinations on the Wim Hof method with Wim Hof. So I'm always taking part every year with both. So now in December I have one, and in Feb, and uh, I also did with Laura, his daughter. She's very active. She's becoming the ice woman now. Of
Well, we had the pleasure of you
exactly.
and her
Yeah.
hosting an event here, which
Yes,
was
amazing.
beautiful.
More to come, by the way. Um, and I did also
Look forward to it.
expeditions, but what I did as well, I did in Iceland, Italy, Austria, Germany. So now what I have for the MENA region, I've done Lebanon as well for a week, full week of snow and mountains, Lebanese weather. So this will be again in February. I have in November a beautiful, amazing weekend in Ras Al Khaimah. I've done it before last year. It was a big success on the highest
Yeah,
camping,
I was going
yes,
to ask
the
you about the
highest
UAE.
camping
Yeah.
ground on the border of Oman. And we will hike also with Jabal Jais, 1,932 meters, and it's gonna be an amazing nature experience with the Wim Hof method as a program. You'll be
Yeah. Amazing.
in accommodation in tents. You get everything there. I'm in collaboration with another instructor called Mario, and we do stuff also like authentic way, like the locals. Like we have the big tribal Bedouin tent, the food, the experience. So it's like really
Yes,
organic experience from the country with the Wim Hof method impact. And also-
absolutely. I mean, it's
sure,
something that we would definitely put information down on our podcast so
sure,
that people can, if they're really interested, that they could definitely reach out to you and connect with
exactly. I will
with
mention
signing
that
up
it's
for this.
already set. I've done also Jordan. I'm doing again. Saudi Arabia next month in Al Ula Festival. I'll be doing 6 days of Wim Hof method.
Wow,
Then Egypt 3 days. Yeah. So single
six
days, not a
days.
retreat, by the way. It's
Fantastic.
workshops. So I'm doing just the involvement. For the
Okay,
retreats,
okay, okay.
the upcoming ones are in UAE, the November one in Ras Al Khaimah. I'm working on another one as well, not in Ras Al Khaimah. I will mention it later. Lebanon. And in Dubai, I will be doing a lot of workshops and advanced workshops and breathwork sessions. Um, I have a 1 day also hiking, breathing, and survival
Yeah.
in Ras Al
Wonderful. No, we look forward to all your, I mean, the things that you're doing. Of course, you do a lot with us as well. You do the prana harmony, which is the
Yeah,
music that you combine with your breath work, and it's also a very beautiful experience. I mean, I would encourage everyone to really come and experience this because the instruments that you play and the way that you play them are so beautiful and truly the vibration is a very high vibration there. So I would invite all our listeners to come and listen and enjoy that process, and of course try the Wim Hof with you. You do it on twice a month with us, at least. So that would be very good.
yeah.
I think we're running out of time, so I'm gonna wrap it up and say thank you very much for being there with our first ever podcast for Keyani. And it was very inspiring to hear how you've been moved by this this experience. It is truly something which we all want to have a journey with something, and your journey is with the Wim Hof, and you know we we loved hearing what you had to say, and also telling our listeners exactly what the Wim Hof process is, because that's really important for people to know. I think it's left a big question mark in this region, at least, because it's just on the cusp of discovery, so it was lovely to have you. Thank you very much, Bashara. And I hope we get to do another podcast for your
Wow.
music another
I'm
time. Amazing.
just I would love also to invite whoever is listening that just give it an extra step if you really are interested into your own health, not just the challenge of the cold and the breath work. Don't underestimate the positive and maybe the negative aspects of this practice. So consider doing it with experienced people, people that they really care and they have the proper knowledge, and they will take care of you. So please bear in mind that also you live in a desert. It's a very hot country. We have all the technology here to sit in ACs and stuff. So sometimes also we take for granted the real cold. So also never underestimate that, and how easy sometimes it might be to do a cold plunge or just an ice bath,
Yes.
or maybe it might be a bit tricky with 50 degrees outside and you don't know what you're doing in 8 degrees. Just remember that. And I would love to see people coming to my workshops, and I'm there to support you and to share a very, very, very powerful and beautiful method, which is called the Wim Hof
Thank you
method.
so much. Thank you.
And thank you,
And I
Alia.
would please
Thank
ask
you, Tehani.
everyone listening to please subscribe to us on YouTube. We're on Spotify. And if you need anything, please go onto our website as well, Keyani Wellness, where you will find information about everything that we do put up. And we would love your comments on if you would like any particular modality to be covered. We would definitely try to get them on board and have a little chat with them. Thank you, Bashara, and have a beautiful day. Bye bye.